known surgically as a rhinostomy, in which the creation of a semi or a permanent fistula between the rumen and the body wall is surgically made, uh, whereas the rhinotomy is a common surgical procedure in which the incision is performed into the rumen, which is subsequently closed by the end of the procedure. In a rhinostomy, we will make a rumen fistula in which we have to perform a cannulation. So the fistulation and a cannulation of the rumen are integral part of a bovine and a small ruminants like caprine, goat, and ovine sheep. The nutritional studies recommended as a conservative treatment in cases of a chronic blood. So this is one of the procedure by which uh, we may have to treat the blood, or even we may have to perform the research on the feeds and different feed stuffs or verify the feed stuffs in the animals during remuneration and as well as during the uh, digestion of the food. Mostly the supplies required for this surgical procedure is three pieces of a umbilical tape, which might be a 1/4 or a 3/8 inch in a width and 18 inches long. The chlorhexidine skin cleanser 4% is required, 70% isopropyl alcohol is required. Three number Betafil are a similar type of a non-absorbable suture material like a nylon or a silk is required. Iodine solution like iodine or a pyodine is required to anticipate the site of the incision. Sterile 30 cc syringes are required to inject the uh, the drugs and as well as the local anesthesia. Sterile 20 cc syringes is also required. Lidocaine 2% with epinephrine for a local anesthesia or a xylocaine 2% with epinephrine can be used to make a paralumbar anesthesia or a black L shape anesthetic protocol by infiltration. Habitant cream is required. Then the impervious disposable drape materials are required. Sterile disposable scrub brushes are required, or even you can use a swab of the antiseptic to anticipate the uh, incision sites. Riemann cannulas and stoppers. 3 inches or a 4-inch Riemann cannula is required for this exercise. Whereas the instruments which may be autoclaved, sterilized, three serpentine needles are required, sterile disposable spinal needles which might be 18 gauge by 3.5 inch long is required for the spinal, the epidural anesthesia can be performed by this needle, and sterile 18 gauge 1.5 inch needle is required, which can be used by infiltration. The sterile 18 gauge by 5-inch needle can be required, which may be used for paralumbar or epidural anesthesia. The large tissue thumb forceps, which is known as a plain large tissue forceps, which has no teeth in it, they are maybe one or a pair may be required. 6 large towel clamps to fix the towels or a draping sheet on the incision sides. The large red tooth forceps for picking tissues and operating the tissues is required. Large two triangular cutting needles, which is needed to be for the suturing of the skin and Riemann. The scalpel handle number 4 is required, in which you can fix the scalpel blades like a 20 or a 22 number. Kelly forceps, one straight or one curved is required. The large needle needle holder is required. The suture scissors, 2 pairs is required, whereas the mosquito forceps are required. Tissue scissors, large, are required, and 2 Alice tissue forceps, and surgical clipper with a 10 number blade is required to clip the hairs to prepare the site. The other recommended sterile materials, which is hand gloves, hand towels, the gowns for a surgeon and assistants, drapes like a disposable for a cow, sheep, or a goat, 5 feet long and width as per roll. The drapes disposable for church bars or the kettle crash is required. The indication when you are doing this exercise, that what is the reason of doing this exercise. The Riemann surgery may be indicated in sheep, goat, and cattle for the following reasons. That's traumatic reticuloperitonitis, hardware diseases. The animals, ruminant animals, are ingesting the metallic materials like needles or nails, or the iron material. Uh, it may cause a reticuloperitonitis. It can be operated by this method to remove them. Removal of foreign bodies, you can perform a removal of foreign bodies by doing the rhinostomy. Severe blood can be relieved by this procedure. Vagal indigestion can be treated by this procedure. Carbohydrate overload may cause a tympany. It can be treated by the rhinostomy. Evacuation of a rumen following injection of a toxins or a poison. If the animal has taken a poison or ingested a toxins accidentally, it can be removed by the uh, the rumenostomy can be performed to remove all those toxins and poisons from the rumen. So the rumen infection can be relieved by this method. Even impact or atony of embolism or omism can be relieved by the rumenostomy. Rumen fluid collection for transformation procedures. Mostly we are performing a research or even identifying the feeds for a quality that can be analyzed, how it is being digested into the rumen. The rumen fluids can be collected from the rumen directly by the fistulation. So sometimes the diagnosis has not been made, uh, but the clinical picture is appears to indicate the involvement of the stomach, like a heart rate increase than 100 beats per minute, or a reduction in a fecal output, gastrointestinal hypomotility, abdominal distension, or abdominal pain can indicate that there might be the problem with the rumen. So it is recommended that the rhinostomy may be performed in such cases so that it may be relieved. The experimental procedure, for experimental purpose, as our um, teachers has done this experimentally on the sheep and goats. Dr. Jamila and Dr. Mulchand has did their PhD by doing the uh, cannulation or a fistulation in the goats, and then they have performed their research on those goats by evaluating directly the digestion of the food and the evolution of the ingredients. There are three techniques to perform the Riemann fistulation. One stage method, two stage method, and shock and Amundsen technique. There are three techniques which is mostly used and commonly used for fistulation and rumination, cannulation in the goats, sheep, and cattle, horses. The ideal fistula is one that forms a seal around the cannula, preventing the leakage of the experimental period, so that when you are performing a cannulation or a fistulation of the Riemann, it should have to seal, it should not have to leak. So until and unless the experiment is completed. So single stage Riemann fistula technique is quite successful in sheep, while two stage technique is recommended in cattle. The first is one stage technique. The Riemann is exteriorized through a circular or a vertical incision, skin incision in the left paralumbar fossa. Incised and sutured to the skin, the cannula inserted into the ruminal opening at the same day of his surgery. So this is a one time, and when you are inoculating or implanting a cannula into the Riemann, it persists there up to the experimental period. So it is not being removed, or it may not be replaced with another cannula. So this is a one-stage method in which you have to perform the surgery only once. But in a two-stage Riemann cannulation technique, first exercised a Riemann segment within a wooden clamp, fixing the clamp to the skin with a 6 mattress sutures. After 1 week, the necrotic Riemann segment will be removed and leaving a Riemann fistula in which a 7.5 centimeter cannula will be inserted. This will be replaced by 10 centimeter cannula a further 1 week later. The surgery will take an average of 30 minutes. At least one assistant is required for the technique. So that this is the two-stage technique. Once you have inoculated or implanted the cannula, then you have to remove it after 1 week, and then after a necrosis, the necrotic tissue will be removed, and then the another surgery will be performed. That will be the replacement of a 10 centimeter cannula instead of a 7.5 centimeter cannula. So two-stage technique in a cow is performed by the second. This is the second is a two techniques. The technique, the Riemann is exteriorized through a circular or vertical skin incision in left paralumbar fossa. The riemann wall without opening the Riemann can be sutured to the skin along the edge of a laparotomy incision to form an adhesion between the Riemann and the skin. So you have to extrude the Riemann and then suture it with the skin externally, so that it may have to adhere there, and there will be the Riemann adhesion between the Riemann and skin, or a metal clamps is applied to a fold of a extrusionized Riemann wall through a laparotomy incision, and then allowing a fistula to develop by a gradual necrosis. So this will, by a sloughing, by a necrosis, it will make a permanent fistula in the Riemann on the fold of a Riemann, and the adhesion of the Riemann to a skin will take place. The cannula inserted 7 to 12 days after the surgery to allow the adhesion formation between the riemann wall and the skin. After allowing adhesion between the riemann wall and skin, then after 7 to 12 days, another surgery will be performed in which you have to insert the cannula. The shock and Amundsen technique is the third technique was first described by the Shark and for cattle and modified for sheep by Haeckel. A fold of a Riemann is exteriorized and clamped between two metal bars. The fold necrotizes and sloughs the tissues, and a fistula between the lumen of the Riemann and the outside is created. So the Riemann fistula in sheep is usually performed in a one-stage method. The two-stage method is usually recommended for cattle, but other researchers use this method in sheep as well. The ruminal cannula, which we have to fix, there are a number of the types of the cannulas which can be used and having a different shapes and sizes. For a goat, there is need of a smaller cannulas, whereas for a cow or a buffalo, you require a larger cannulas that you can even insert your hand through a cannula. So ruminal cannulas are made of a plastic, rubbers, or even a metal materials that may be placed and fixed properly to prevent a leakage. So we can fix the rubber cannula. We can fix and even we have to fix the Riemann with a metallic material so that it may not be leak out or ooze out the material from the Riemann. Now the cannula, as you see that the rubber radiator hose length at the A and the rubber radiator hose internal diameter is showing on the B, whereas the C is showing the rubber inner flage diameter, and the D is rubber inner flage thickness, whereas the C is a rubber ridge to retain the metal outer flage, and the F is the metal outer retainer flage diameter, and the last one is the G, which is the stopper or a cover of that uh, cannula. The ruminal fistulation and cannulation will be adapted practically for obtaining a samples of ruminal ingesta, failures, and or gases, and also in a degradation studies of for a feed evaluation research or ranking of a feeds can be performed. So the Riemann fistulation or cannulation is performed to evaluate the ruminal ingesta, the failures, gases, and even you can rank the feeds which is being prepared for feeding of the cows or even the goats that can be ranked up that how much the degradation or the digestion is taking place in the Riemann. So the digestibility of the feed can be determined by taking a sample directly from the ruminants and assessed for categorizing the ranking the food feeds. The animals will be stabilized for adaptation for a 1 week prior to surgery. We have to keep the animals for adaptation so that we can perform the surgery. Food will be withheld for 24 hours before surgery, and water will be withheld for 12 hours. The mark the skin with a indelible marker using a round template, the same size of the cannula to be used. One C cannula, which is requires, that is about a 4-inch and 10.2 centimeters diameter of that cannula. So we have to prepare the fistula about half centimeter below that cannula size. So it is preferable that the marking of the area should be done before the paravertebral block is performed and the skin relaxed. So therefore, the template should be the same diameter as the center diameter of the cannula, slightly smaller, so that the diameter which is selected on the skin, it should be a similar size or even a smaller size than the cannula size. In the case of a thin skin animals, the vertical diameter can be reduced by a half of an inch or 0.5 centimeter. from the lower or ventral edge. This will correct for stretching the fistula over time. तो हम जो कैन्यूला लगाएंगे, तो अगर गोट है, शीप है, तो उसमें हमने जो इंसियन देना है उसकी साइज जो है 0.5 सेंटीमीटर छोटी होनी चाहिए। अगर हम काऊ और बफेलो में लगाते हैं तो उसकी साइज सिमिलर होनी चाहिए जितना कैन्यूला की फ्लैश का, नीचे वाले फ्लैश का डायमीटर है। The procedure to ensure a properly positioned and circular fistula: clip the paralumbar fossa from the transverse process to the ventral edge of the flank fold and from the 13th rib to the hip bone. So clip the area of injection plus a radius of 2 inches around with a 10 number blade clipper. So surgically prepare the site of injection using at least 3 separate scalps with a chlorhexidine and final prep with alcohol. The left paralumbar region will be prepared for aseptic surgery. The operation will be carried out in recumbent position and operated animals will be positioned on the right side. In a sheep or a goat, we can perform this surgery in the recumbent position, whereas in the large animals like a cow and a buffalo, we have to perform this surgery in a standing position. The anesthesia and the operated animals will be injected intramuscular with a diazepam 0.5 that we are doing on the large animals. Then we have to give a diazepam of 0.5% in the dose of 2 mg per kg body weight, whereas after 10 minutes we can inject the xylazine at the rate of 0.22 mg per kg intramuscularly. Then the local anesthesia, Xylocaine, will be used to infiltrate the surgical site, invertebrate L block, thereby blocking the nerves supplying that region. So all the region will be infiltrated around by making a inverted L, or we can perform the paravertebral block T13, L1, L2, and L3 using a 2% lidocaine with epinephrine. So ensure that the skin is anesthetized by checking for a sensation with a hypodermic needle at least 15 minutes after the block was performed. So after a local anesthesia, we have to inject a needle in the sites. हमने नीडल लगा के देखना है कि सेंसेस मौजूद तो नहीं है। अगर सेंसेस मौजूद हैं तो इसका मतलब ये है कि हमारा जो एनेस्थेटिक प्रोटोकॉल है वो कंप्लीट नहीं हुआ है, इसलिए वी हैव टू रीइंसर्ट the anesthetic drug, or we have to wait for the effect of the anesthesia. हो सकता है कि हमने उतना टाइम नहीं दिया हो जितना टाइम रिक्वायर्ड है फॉर एनेस्थेटाइजिंग दी पेशेंट, तो 15 मिनट तक जो है ना हमने वेट करना है. देन वी हैव टू चेक फॉर द सेंसिटाइजेशन. The preparation that you have to create a blood line in the skin following the indelible marking made. This blood line will be used as the guide when the skin is removed during surgery. This may be accomplished by scoring the skin with an 18 gauge needle so that the boundaries of the proposed incisions are outlined. Note, creating the blood line to follow the letter will significantly improve the final shape of the fistula and will reduce the likelihood of a Riemann contents leaking post-operatively. So you have to follow and mark the area. आपने उस एरिया को मार्क करना है पहले जिसको काटना है और जिस एरिया को एनेस्थेटाइज करना है. You have to see that there shouldn't be any major artery or a vein which may be included into the incision site. So you have to perform, ये आपने वहाँ पे इंसियन देना है, वहाँ से स्किन काटना है जहाँ पे avascularity ज़्यादा हो. So we have to mark the line that there shouldn't be any blood line, and if there is a blood lining, we have to ligate before incising the area. Preparation of incision site. Surgically prepare the paralumbar fossa by utilizing at least 3 scrubs with a Habitin skin cleanser. आपने जो क्रीम उठाई है Habitin की, आपने वो उसको यूज करना है to apply as a scrubs and perform a final scrubs with a chlorhexidine followed by an alcohol rinse. आपने उसके बाद chlorhexidine लगाने के बाद alcohol लगाना है and paint the incision site and surrounding clipped area with a iodine solution. जो पायोडीन आपने लिया है उसको फिर आपने लास्टली लगाना है. It will make a colors and it will show you that which area you have covered sites. This is a very good antiseptic and it will make a site aseptically. Then you have to prepare the surgeon, the team, and the patient. The surgeon and the assistant should do a routine pre-operative scrubs and don, put on sterile surgical gown and surgical gloves, place a sterile impervious strap over the horizontal bar on the chute or the kettle crush and clamp it to itself under the bar to hold it in place. Drape the surgical site with a sterile impervious wrap that is a towel clamps to the skin to hold it in a place. So cut out the portion of the drape to avoid or opening to the incision site. So हमने ड्रेपिंग इस्तेमाल करनी है और जो टॉवल्स लगाने हैं, जो इंसियन साइट है उसको एक्सपोज रखना है. बाकी एरिया को you have to cover with the towels and drapes so that you may have to perform the incision. Then you have to perform a laparotomy, then the rhuminotomy. So these are the two surgical procedures. The laparotomy is the opening of the abdominal cavity by a surgical incision. So this is known as a laparotomy. So a perfectly round skin incision of the same diameter as the center diameter of the cannula or slightly smaller is made in the mid-paralumbar fossa 4 centimeter ventral to the transverse process of the lumbar vertebrae and 2 centimeters caudal to the last rib by following the Biller line. So as we have made a Biller line, so we have to make the incision accordingly so that the skin incision is shown that is performed around the skin, and then the exposing the abdominal muscles, and then the gate the technique opening of the abdominal muscles bluntly along their fiber direction. So the incision will be continued. After incising a skin, you have to go through the delicate subcutaneous tissue, the external abdominal oblique muscle, the internal abdominal oblique muscle, and the transverse abdominal muscles will be dissected bluntly along the direction of a fibers. Grid technique is known as a grid technique. The dorsal sac of the Riemann will be exposed after a sharp incision of the parietal peritoneum. When the peritoneum will be opened, then the Riemann will be exposed. The dorsolateral portion of the sac will be then grasped with a pair of a Alice tissue forceps and pulled through the abdominal wall incision. Then you have to see that when in the figure that the A is showing the exteriorizing of the Riemann and the anchoring of the riemann wall to the subcutaneous tissue is performed by a ligation. The insertion of the cannula, that this portion will be anchored to the subcutaneous tissue using a number 1 Vicryl, or you in the continuous circumferences such are passed seromuscularly in the riemann wall. You can use the PDS, or you can even use the um, absorbable suture material which is manufactured. So the exposed portion of the reminal wall will be incised circularly, gauze strictly enough to allow the rubber radiator hose of the cannula at the midpoint. The cannula will be thoroughly lubricated with a gel to facilitate its advancement into the reminal stoma smoothly. The rubber inner flange of the cannula will be folded and pushed through the radiator hose from inside to outside in the sheep. So the folding the Riemann flange, the reminal cannula inserted into the Riemann. So this is the larger portion. The flange is larger than the incision, so it should be inserted by a folding into the Riemann, and then it should be allowed to open it, and it will be remain inside the Riemann. So it will not come out when it will be inside. The flage is having a larger diameter than the incision side, so therefore it will remain inside and it will not allow to come out. तो जो जो हमारा कैनिला है उसका जो लोअर फ्लेज है वो वाइडर है, उसको हमने फोल्ड करके अंदर रीमन में डालना है, और फिर अंदर जाके वो जब खुल जाएगा तो बाहर नहीं निकलेगा. तो प्लेस स्टे switchers of umbilical tape through the wall of the exposed reman by using the serpentine needle. Insert one loop of a umbilical tape of the exposed reman tissue, leaving a large enough loop to use as a handhold. An assistant exercises a portion of the reman by applying an outward traction to the umbilical tap loop. In a cow, you have to use the umbilical tap to hold the reman, because the reman of the cow having a heavy weight and it has a larger forces, and there is a large movement, so that it requires to hold by an assistant. Whereas the goat and sheep has a smaller reman, so it can be directly held by stay switchers of a Vicryl or Dexon or a PDS. But the reman of the cow or a buffalo having a larger forces, therefore it can be held by the umbilical tap. So this is the larger, having a more strength to hold the material. Therefore, the umbilical tap will be used in the surgery of the cows and the buffaloes. So note, once the reman has been penetrated the surgical site, the instrument and the surgeon are no longer sterile, although appropriate aseptic techniques should continue to be followed. ये है कि जब आप रूमेन खोल लेते हैं तो आपके हाथ, आपके इंस्ट्रूमेंट और आपकी सारी चीज़ें जो है वो कंटेमिनेटेड हो जाती हैं वो दी फ्लोरा ऑफ दी रीमन. इसलिए you have to be very cautious that you should not have to allow the seepage or a leakage into the abdomen, or you should not use the material on the other parts of the area. So you have to perform this surgery aseptically. वो दी रीमन exercised, जब हम रीमन निकाल लेंगे बाहर, make a 2 or a 3-inch incision through the Riemann wall and into the interior. This may be enlarged as needed to allow for complete suturing. Ensure the Riemann incision is adequate to prevent the excessive stretching of the Riemann or a bunching of the skin at the fistula edge. So we have to check down that all the edges are equally dissected and equally incised, and there is no uneven area which may have to lead a stretching or even a bunching of the skin or even the fistula edges. So the suture, the cut the edge of the Riemann wall to the cut edge of the skin, utilizing a continuous pattern, and use a number 3 Vitafil non-absorbable suture material. Suture 1/4 of the circumference at a time before tying off and starting the next suture pattern. So 3 to 4 continuous suture should be used rather than one, so that if the suture breaks, the entire suture line does not come undone. So therefore हमने जो स्टिचेस लगाने हैं वो 3-4 लेयर्स में लगाने हैं. अगर एक लेयर खुल भी जाता है तो other one will hold the area. Therefore you have to suture the circumferences by using a simple continuous suture technique and as well as a simple continuous suture technique, so that if one or two lines, one or two stitches may be opened or even breakdown may occur, that may not allow the seepage or a leakage or even an opening of the or a failure of the surgery. So the suturing should begin at the bottom of the incision and progress up both sides, with the top being closed last to reduce the likelihood of a Riemann contents being introduced into the peritoneal cavity. So you have to carefully suture the Riemann with a cannulas so that it may not allow the leakage of a riemannial fluid into the peritoneal cavity or in the abdomen. Rinsing of the exposed muscles and skin with the sterile saline or a lactate ringer solution may be performed as needed to keep the body wall clean. So care must be taken to not allow the contaminated fluids to enter the peritoneal cavity. So we have to wash the area, the skin, the peritoneum, the muscles with a lactate ringer or even with a sterile saline, so that it may not contaminate the area or it may not allow the infection to the area. So a small quantity 5 to 10 ml of a long-acting penicillin should be sprayed directly on the muscle through muscle layer as it is closed to prevent infection. हमने पेंसिलिन जो है मसल लेयर पे पाउडर जो है ना पेंसिलिन का लगाना है, so it will prevent the infection which may having a chances to be carried out. तो इसलिए that will be restrained and prevention may be taken place by using a penicillin powder on the wound. So the cannula insertion and removal, the clean the incision area with water and a habitant to remove the debris. Insert a model 4C, that is a 3 inches Riemann cannula. To prepare the cannula for insertion into the animal, remove the stopper from the cannula, reach through the center of the cannula and grasp the inner flange of the cannula and pull it back through the center of the cannula until approximately half or 3/4 of the inner flange is on the outside of the cannula. This will leave a half to, of the inner flange in and a folded form small enough to clear the fistula. So you have to put the cannula flage, the distal portion of the flage may be inserted by a folding into the रीमन. हमने रीमन के सुराख में कैनिला को फोल्ड करके जो नीचे वाला फोल्ड है, जो फ्लेंज है, उसको फोल्ड करके अंदर डालना है एंड देन यू हैव टू कीप half of the रीमन, at least half of the cannula outside of the skin. So the placement of the cannula in a hot water enables easier inversion of the inner flage of the cannula and folding of the cannula for insertion. अगर हम उसे गर्म पानी में रखेंगे कैनिला को तो उसको फोल्ड करने में आसानी होगी और उसमें जो है easy होगा to insert into the Riemann. So to place the folded cannula in the animal, insert the folded inner flange through the fistula and push the remaining inner flange back through the cannula center, returning the inner flange into a position inside the Riemann. Then place the stopper in the cannula so the mineral oil can be applied to the stopper and center of the cannula to make future removal of the stopper easily. हम जो स्टॉपर है, जो कवर है उसका, उसको हम बंद करने से पहले उसको मिनरल ऑयल लगाएंगे, तो दैट विल बी अ very easy to open it in a future or for the removal of the cannula and the reinsertion or replacement of the cannula in future. So the cannula is removed from the animal by first removing the stopper, and a small dull screwdriver, not too long, can be used to assist stopper removal, and mineral oil is a good lubricant for stoppers. जब हम इस कैन्यूला को निकालेंगे तो हमने फिर इसको निकालने के लिए पहले स्टॉपर को रिमूव करना है, और स्टॉपर को रिमूव करने के लिए हम स्क्रू ड्राइवर इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं और मिनरल ऑयल इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं एज एन lubricant so that the stopper can be removed easily. Following the removal of the stopper, reach through the center of the cannula and grasp the inner flange of the cannula and pull it back through the center of the cannula until approximately half of the inner flange is on the outside of the cannula, and then remove the cannula from the animal. The folded cannula inserted manually into the encode reman. It will be carefully unfolded by pushing the folded inner flange from outside to inside the radiator hose to secure the ruminal stoma close to the abdominal wall. So the ruminal stoma will be then sutured to the skin using a number 1 Vicryl in continuous circumferences pattern with a 2 runs are 12 to 6 and 6 to 12 o'clock. This is the being done by in the sheaves. That after that the stainless steel disc, the metal retinal flange will be applied, uh, will be pushed over the neck of the radiator hose and its socket to ensure the ability of the cannula. A rubber stopper used to close the cannula opening. So the post-surgical procedure is that the post-surgical medical treatment included the use of a systematic antibiotic like a penbiotic 1 ml for 25 kg body weight twice daily, anti-inflammatory and analgesic drug like a Vitofonic 1 ml by 45 kg body weight for 3 to 5 successive post-operative days, or antibiotics immediately post-operative surgery. An antibiotic should be administered like ceftriaxone at a dose of 1 mg per kg, or Axinel 1 ml per 50 kg intramuscularly, or Axinel RTO 1 ml per 50 kg subcutaneously. Analgesic immediately post-surgery, an analgesia should be administered like Benamine at 1 mg per kg intravenously, or Enafen ketoprotein at 3 mg per kg 1.5 ml per 45 kg intramuscularly. The short-term monitoring, that the surgical site washed daily with antiseptic solution and inspected for any sign of a swelling, bleeding, irritation, or infection. Physical examination should be performed to watch the feed intake, body temperature, respiration rate, and rumen contractions will be performed twice daily for the first 24 hours post-operatively, then daily for 7 days. The cannula washed weekly with the antiseptic solutions. So you have to perform this uh, short-term analysis, so that the monitoring, so that you should have to take the observations and even the data collection. This can be then the post-operative care should be performed if an animal has a significantly reduced feed intake, or water consumption is being reduced, or body temperature is greater than 104 Fahrenheit, significantly elevated heart rate or respiratory rates compared to the pre-operative baseline values, unusual restlessness or depression or other signs of abnormal behavior, if problems with suture line occurs, then the veterinarian should have to treat these conditions immediately. Fly spray containing a 0.5 permethrin or other repellents should be used as needed for the control of the fly. If there is a problem of the fly, which is not happens in the winter season, whereas in the summer season there is a problem of the flies, then the fly spray should be used or any repellent should be used, which may have to not allow the flies to cause any trouble. The surgery site may swell for an area 1 to 2 inches around the cannula edge. Tissue will become a necrotic and an odor may develop. This is not abnormal. The degree of necrosis can be gauged by lifting the edge of the cannula and observing the surgical site. If a further examination is desired, the animal should be taken to a chute or the cattle crush, the cannula removed, and the site can be inspected. So inspection can be carried out after removal of the cannula, and then the reinsertion of the cannula can be performed if there is any necrotic tissue or infection or any bleeding or anything, maggot problem or anything that can be inspected, and then it can be cured. So the administer the centrifuge at the dose of a 1 mg per kg, Axinel 1 ml per 50 kg intramuscularly, or Axinel RTO 1 ml per 50 kg subcutaneously once daily for 4 treatments or other antibiotics. Administer the analgesia like Benamine at 1 mg per kg intravenously or 1 to 2 times a day, or Enafen ketoprotein at the dose of 3 mg per kg 1.5 ml per 45 kg intramuscularly the day following the surgery, or alternatively 1 to 2 aspirin bolus, 250-gram aspirin per bolus, 1 to 2 times daily for 3 to 7 days via the Riemann cannula as needed for pain. पेन किल करने के लिए आप डायरेक्टली एस्प्रिन बॉलसिस आप रीमन में डाल सकते हो, एंड यू कैन किल द पेन if there is any pain to the animal. The animal should be evaluated at least daily for 2 days. हमने जो ना 2 टाइम उसको चेक करना है for 2 days following the surgery, and then at a minimum every third day until the sutures are removed on day 14 and the 4 inches cannula reintroduced. After this, evaluation should be at least weekly. The approximately 9 days following the surgery, the 3-inch cannula model 4C should be removed and the cannulation site inspected and cleaned. Necrotic tissue may be present and requires a trimming and a removal. The area should be inspected for the presence of a fissures. Habitain cream can be applied to the surgical site and the cannula when it is replaced. They remove the sutures 14 days following the surgery. At this point, the 4-inch cannula, model 1C, 2C, 3C, or 9C should be placed in the fistula sites unless the number of the deep fissures are present. If they are present, the 3-inch cannula should be replaced and the site re-inspected in the approximately 5 days with consideration to placing the 4-inch cannula. So this is the 2-stage technique in which you have to replace the cannula if the fistula is a larger one, then you have to increase the size of the cannula. When the decision has been made to place the 4-inch cannula, the animal should be administered analgesia for the pain from the stretching of the fistula. Placing of a 4-inch cannula and the plug may require some physical efforts to stretch the fistula sufficiently for the cannula to properly seat in the fistula. Initial placement of the plug may be equally difficult and the use of a mineral oil is recommended. Following a placement of the 4-inch cannula, tissue along the edge of the cannula will start to die due to pressure. This is normal. It is recommended that the 7 days following a 4-inch cannula placement, that the surgery site be cleaned and any necrotic tissue trimmed and removed. The cannulation site should be inspected every 7 days until the cannula site has been healed with no abnormal tissue. So the body weight of each animal will be obtained weekly for 6 months. The cannula stopper and the wound will be checked daily to confirm the stability of the cannula in its place without leakage.
Sir, PPT show nahi ho rahi hai.
Check your software. Okay. Reminal fistula in goat. You can see that the reminal fistula 6 months after the surgery in a goat is performed. We have also performed the fistulation, cannulation in the goat in our farm. The goat was donated by the livestock department, and then we have performed the cannulation on that person, that goat, and then the cannula was removed after 6 months. So you can see that the cannulation performed in the goat, and then the fistulation in a sheep is performed, and you can see the sheeps having a cannulation in the cannula is attached in the fistula of the sheep, and then the observation are being taken out. The samples are being taken through a stopper. The stopper was removed, and then the samples were collected and analyzed for the feed. So the cannula in the cow that can be performed for analysis of the food, and even for the analysis and categorizing of the feed. So this is the cannula in the cow. And then the complications which may arise, the abdominal wall incision and stabilization of the reminal cannula in the uh, reminal fistula are a big challenge to the surgeons, especially in a sheep due to the weak abdominal wall musculature. The main postoperative complication is the leakage of the reminal fluid between the surgical wound edges due to a scarring, necrosis of the tissues, the damage of a low quality material used as a rubber cannulas, or when using a cannula of a rigid material as a surgical incision must be bigger in size to let these cannula pass in it. Moreover, infection and peritonitis are the most important post-operative complications that may possibly tend to severe the crisis and death. So thank you very much. This is the last slide. You can check this. You can even listen this. Uh, you can listen this lecture on uh, again on a YouTube, which is given over here. The site to